What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. Today, we are joined by the team over at Teamdeck. Teamdeck is an all-in-one resource management solution that tracks your team's time and productivity. You can get it right now on AppSumo, starting at just $49 for a lifetime deal. Before we dive into the actual walkthrough today, I want to tell you just a few quick things. You could tell us a little bit about your use case, your business over in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear why you're interested in Teamdeck. The second thing is if you have any questions about this tool or the deal or how to get set up, anything like that, you can leave those questions in the Q&A box down below the video. Joanna's there. She's going to answer them for you, but we also are going to be doing a Q&A at the end of the walkthrough. And then the last thing is that there will be a recording of this. So if you need to step out, you can. If you are watching the recording of this, hello to the future. If you're watching this on YouTube, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think that is it. Thank you everybody for joining us. And thank you, Adriana, for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm really good. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing all right. All right, I'm going to pass this over to you to go ahead and take us through the walkthrough.
All right. So let me just share my screen, and we can start this walkthrough. Just a quick overview of Teamdeck at the beginning. Teamdeck was created for our internal purposes, as we are working in a software house, and we got more and more people, and we find out that we don't know who is doing what, and we couldn't schedule our work properly. We didn't have a chance to have a transparent view of who is available. So we've created the solution ourselves, and after that we decided to go live with the tool, and we would like to share it with someone else as well. As Teamdeck was created basically for software houses and for creative agencies, so I'm gonna show you the software house use case. So we will start from creating an organization, which is the basic thing that you should do to start using the app, and we are going to call it Teamdeck. Then you can choose your time zone. It's by default it says exactly where you are. If you have your localization turned on, you can put your AppSumo code here and click save. There are some more details below, but let's just leave it for now. We can go back here when we have some more data available. So just click save, and you will be directly moved directly to the settings to add some projects. As you have already your organization, you will need some projects to manage. So click here on this plus icon. You can create a single project, or you can import projects from your other tool that you're using from the CSV file, but let's create it manually at the beginning. So it will be like a project A. You can choose the color label for this particular project. For this particular project, there are no limits and colors here, so you can choose the one you like the most. You can also assign some custom fields to the project. So let's add one of them. So you're just transferred to custom fields tab. And exactly like it was in the project section, you have this plus button at the bottom right corner, and also you can import them or create it manually. So let's create a custom field for project. And for project, what it can be, if this project is internal or external, what's the client. So let's start with the client, and it will be a list. So here, because there are two types, the list has to be predefined at the beginning. So if you are the owner of the organization and you know exactly with what customers are you working, then you can predefine them here. So let's say client A, client B, client C. You can choose default option at the beginning. So once you create a new project, it will be by default for the client A. Or you can also choose if this custom field is required or has multiple selections possible. There is another option for the custom field, as it can be a text. So if you are working with multiple clients at the time and you cannot predefine it very easily, then you can choose the text, and it gives you more flexibility. But let's stick to this one. So we can go back to projects, start over with the project one. Let's choose the color again, and custom field client A, add new. We have it already here, but let's add some other projects to have some more flexibility on the calendar, so it will be visible. Okay, let's choose here the client B, and we will create another project for client C. 3. Okay, and the client C. So once we have projects already added, then all we need to do now is to add people from our organization, so our team. So let's go to people section. I'm already here as the owner of the organization, and to add more, again, at the bottom right corner, there is this plus button, and you can import people from the CSV exactly like you did with the projects, or you can add the new person manually. We have 2 versions of team members, so it can be a basic resource or a team member, but in the AppSumo deal, we have team members. So once you buy the code, you can get 25 team members. So let's choose this one. I will put Joanna, and by the way, she's in the Q&A box and she can help you with all your questions there. So yeah, I'm going to put her here. I'm choosing the permissions. So in Teamdeck, we have 3 of them. So there is a regular starting from the bottom, and the regular team member can, you can decide if the regular sees only their calendar or the entire organization, but they can only add their time entries, vacation requests, availability. They cannot assign bookings because the bookings are in the manager's duties. So going to the manager permissions, yeah, they can, besides from adding timesheets, vacation requests, and availability for themselves, they can also assign bookings for their teams. They can accept or reject vacation requests, and they can create reports with more data than regulars. And the owner of the organization, this level of permission gives you an ability to do everything inside the organization. So yeah, so there are the free levels here. I have to add the email. So let's put an email of this user. And Joanna will, once I save the pop-up, Joanna will receive the email with the invitation to the app. So your teammates also will receive in their mailbox an invitation, and once they click there, they can register to Teamdeck. So let's click save here. And as well as for the projects, you can also assign custom fields to your teammates. So as you can see here, we have the client custom field that we've already created, but right now we will create a custom field for people. So it can be a job title, for example. And it will be also a list. So as it is a software house, then we will add some front-end developer, PM, and a graphic designer. Okay, oh, I made a typo there. Okay. And we can go back to people and assign a custom field to Joanna, and she will be our graphic designer here, and I can be a PM right now. Okay, so while we are here in the settings, let me briefly tell you what you can do more to customize your organization. Then we have the holidays, and here are we are talking about bank holidays here. So if you want to add bank holidays like Christmas Eve or Labor Day or something like that, then you can add it once for the entire organization. You can import holidays by choosing your country here and the year. So let's say that we will add it for United States for 2020, and the holidays will be already imported here. Going further, we have the vacations tab here. And here you can see all the vacation requests. Then we have integrations, as Teamdeck has built-in integration with CakeHR and the Podio, which is a project management software. We have a Slack bot coming up really soon, so we can't wait for that. But we have also APIs available. So if you enter here, you can choose the token read or read or write, and then you can create it, and you can use it, for example, in Zapier integrations that we have available. And by the way, if you want to integrate Teamdeck with Zapier, then feel free to reach out to us, as we are in the private mode there. So you will need an invitation, but it's you can reach out to us here on our intercom. So feel free to start the conversation and ask for the invitation. Okay, custom fields, we already said about that. And there's another thing, so advanced settings. And here you can customize your organization. So you can tailor Teamdeck to your own needs. So as we have the leave management feature available, then you can define your own vacation reasons. So by default, you will find a couple, but feel free to remove the one that you don't need, or add new one. So it's all available the same as with the vacation period. Okay, then we have notification settings, and by default, Teamdeck sends you a notification every day in the morning during the workday about your bookings and most important information. So about the vacation, and they are really close. So you can choose if you are switching, we are keeping it turned on, or you can turn it off anytime. Then we have tags, and these are very, very helpful when it comes to adding some details to your booking. So we've created some default tags that we found really helpful when running a software house. But again, feel free to add new ones here. And the same thing as with timesheets, as we also add, you can also add a tag to your time entries. Okay, so I think there's enough of the settings, so let's move to the heart of Teamdeck, so it's the calendar. And right now, we have only 2 people here, and the calendar is empty, so let's just fill it in. As you can see, you have the 1 month view, and for now, it is the 1 view available. We have our feature request board, so you can find it on our Teamdeck deal page on AppSumo, because we've got a lot of questions about weekly view or yearly view. We have this feature added to the feature request board, so feel free to upvote it if you think that will make Teamdeck even better to use. But okay, let's talk about the calendar. So your team members here are on the left, and when you hover your teammate, you can see the name and the custom fields that you assign to it. And every team member has its own piece of calendar. And the first row here is the bookings row. So in this row, you are planning your work. So you can assign bookings to a person. So you can just choose the period, then click the project 1. Let's say it would be 5 hours per day. It will automatically skip weekends, vacations, and bank holidays that we've imported in the settings. And if you don't want our system to skip those days, simply take it off, and it won't do that. Then you can add details to your booking, so it can be tags, which we already spotted in the settings. And let's say it's the billable project and it's in the definition phase. I can also add a description here or a link to, for example, to Jira task or Epic or something like that. So, and clicking save, it's already here. And if your plans are changed, you can always extend the booking or shorten. You can drag and drop and change the start date. So it's very flexible. Okay, so then we have the timesheets row, and here your team members are reporting back their time to you. So and when I am entering Teamdeck, I can see, okay, I am booked for 5 hours per day for a project 1, and this is what I'm going to do that day. So by the end of the day, I'm adding here project 1. I was working on that one for 5 hours per day, and it was billable, but I was doing it from my office at home, so I can also check it there. Okay, and of course you can add multiple entries here. So as you can see, this is the availability row, and I'm available for 8 hours per day. And these bars here show me that I'm not 100% utilized this day. So there is still some time, like 3 hours, that can be booked. So if my manager sees that, they can add, okay, so she still has some time available. So, and we have some lack of resources in project 2. Then we can add her 3 more hours booking for the project 2. And we can also extend it. And right now you can see I'm fully utilized, so 100% utilized, so the perfect situation. When it comes to time tracking, I can add it manually as I did here, but also you can download our time tracker app. It's available on App Store and Google Play. It's a one-tap time tracker. So when you start working on the project, click start, and when you stop, click stop, and your time entry will be automatically translated to the app. Then we have the vacations row, and your employees can ask for a vacation through the app. It's the very same method. So just choose the period of time or one day. Here, choose the vacation reason, and you can also add a description to it if it's necessary. And as because I am the owner of the organization here, so I can approve it. So yeah, right now it's already approved, and everyone can see that I will be on a holiday from May 19th till the end, until May 26th. And we can do the same for Joanna. So let's add a project 3 for 6 hours per day. And it will be like a design phase, as Joanna is a graphic designer, and it's also billable. And we have it already here. There is one more thing about the calendar that it's very cool, that if you have more people here, because I have only 2 right now, so it's I have them on at the first site, so it's easier. But if you have more people, then you can filter your calendar only to the people, only to team members you'd like to see. So when you click here on the edit view, you can filter it by names, just by typing the name of your employee. You can also tick off all unnecessary rows. So if you don't want to track the vacations of your employees, then you can remove this row, and the calendar will be more condensed. Also, you can add some more filters, and it works really well if you have some more custom fields available and more people. So for example, you can look by the skill set or by the job title. So it's very very useful when you have larger teams. And if you also, there's a feature to switch it to project view. So if you have experience in tracking a project, not by a resource, then you can switch your view, and it will be easier for you to experience the structure of the app. So I think that's all about the calendar. So right now we can move to the reports. And as you all know, reports are the best when you have some data available. So I'm gonna to switch to my organization when I have some data already prepared. Our reports work in an Excel manner, so you can add your custom fields, custom values, so you don't need to rely on only a pure templates, but you can tailor them to your own needs. We've prepared a couple of those templates, but you can interact with them anyway. So let's start with the team utilization report, and we will create it for by default it's created for the whole organization. And to have some more data, okay, we have enough data here. So we have only May available, and by default you have all team members that you have in your team with all their data points. So this is very basic report. And apart from the bookings, availability, timesheets, vacations that are imported from the calendar, you have also the utilization measured and overtime added here. What's cool about our reports is that you can add more metrics. So if you want to add some average timesheet time, pretty much everything what you are putting in Teamdeck, or create a custom fields, you can do so. You can also remove the columns that you don't need. So it's totally up to you how the report will look like at the end. You can also filter the reports by the project or by a team. So it's very flexible. So okay, we will maybe not the project name, but by the job title. And we would like to see only the utilization only for project managers. And then I think that, okay, we have 2 project managers and they have no utilization field in. So let's compare their data, for example, from last year. I think there are some more information. Yeah, okay, so right now we can see that there are 2 of my PMs in my organization, and I can see that one of them is more than 100% and the second one is 49% utilized. So it gives me a clue that, okay, so we did something wrong with scheduling the project. So maybe we should take some Adriana's projects and give them to Marvin instead. So to make it more even. Apart from the filters, you can also group the report differently. So right now it doesn't have any grouping, but you can add some. Wait a second, I will refresh that as okay. All right, so we can, as you can see, we have only people here, but we can add some different data blocks. Just click and drag to the left side. So as I mentioned, the job title, so let's maybe stick to that one. It will be a really helpful report for the HR department. So when you put the job title first and you can sort it by utilization, you know which job titles are most utilized at your company. So this is the like a template data, but sample data. But you can get from this report really powerful information. So perhaps front-end developers are utilized in 150%. So you should think about hiring another one for in the following weeks, for example. And apart from the team utilization report, you can create also a project budget report where you can define the rate for your employee. You can also create the payroll from timesheets. So starting with this one, I have a filter here, I guess. Oh, okay, so this is only my payroll. So I can choose the rate for every project I'm working on, and it will automatically calculate the payroll. We have also the project budget report, and let me just show you that one. Okay, so this month we have only the social media campaign, but let's choose the last year to get some more information. Okay, so as you can see here, you can open the each row. So on the app development, these people were working on, so we can define their rates, and the system will automatically calculates the costs that we had for this particular project. So this is these are our reports. So and my suggestion, because at the beginning you may not have a lot of data at the organization. So what I recommend is to create a sample data organization. So here you have this button, play with sample data. And you can create an organization based on your company's numbers. So you can choose which is the creative agency, software has a product startup, then the number of people and the manager role. And when it's created, you will have the app already filled with data. So it's like a perfect start to start your experience with our reports. So this is something I would recommend. And the sample data organization deletes after 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about all the data there. So it's just a sample information. So yeah, I believe that's it. So if you, I don't know how was our Q&A box, if you can help me with that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that walkthrough, Sumolings. If you have any more questions that you want to add, you could send those over to the Q&A box now. The question that, as we predicted, would come up is about integrations. So just if you could tell us anything you can about integrations and what you got. Yeah.
Yeah, so as I mentioned about the integrations during the walkthrough, we have the built-in integration with Podio and Cake HR, but also we are integrated with Zapier. So you can integrate with more than 1,000 app via this app, the Zapier app. And one more thing is that we are in the private mode there. So if you need any, if you need an access to the Zapier, if you'd like to create such organization, just let us know and we will invite you to our Zapier account.
Wonderful. Yeah, those are the only questions that we got. We have another question about possibly integrating with future AppSumo products. They said HR partner, which is great. Thank you for that. All right, we did get a question just now. Are you planning to add the ability to share files in the app?
I don't think that at the moment we are not, this is not in our roadmap. This is not the high priority for us. But we are, we are open for any suggestions and we are discussing over every request that we are getting. So perhaps we will discuss it for sure, and perhaps it will appear in our roadmap. Which is going to be released as soon as we go through the requests that we got from AppSumo links, because there are quite a lot of them. So we are, I can see that Maddie asked the question about the roadmap. So let me just continue the answer. So yeah, our roadmap is shaping right now. So we are gathering all the requests that we are getting, and we are going to release the roadmap as soon as we discuss all of these features.
Wonderful. And I do think that Joanna provided a really great answer in the Q&A that I just want to highlight, that Teamdeck is focused on resource management, and they will develop the app in that field. Their core features are scheduling, time tracking, leave, and availability management. So you can use other tools to sync with it, but it sounds like those are your priorities. And I mean, I think that's great. All right, Sumolings, do we have any more questions? I don't want to wrap things up too quickly in case they do. And sometimes they trickle in as I slowly talk. But it sounds there's always this moment at the end of every webinar. I think that is it for today, though. So thank you so much, Adriana and Joanna, for joining us. Sumolings, if you have not already, you can go to appsumo.com/teamdeck right now to redeem your code. It is starting at just $49 for a lifetime deal and is, of course, backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So you can go ahead, get set up, see how this works for you. And we always want to know how it's working for you in the comments. And of course, if you have any more additional questions, you could always leave those on the deal page. Thank you so much, Adriana. This has been great.
Thank you very much. And yeah, have a great day, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.